Teaching number 106. Disciples, here is your master. I come to remove before you the veil of many mysteries. Ask what will be given to you. But do not ask me for more than you need to know. In past times, I could not reveal to you the mysteries that I am making known to you in this third era, because your spirit was not capable of understanding or conceiving beyond what its spiritual development allowed it, but my word is the same, immutable and eternal. Your spirit is the one that was born, the one that grows and evolves until it reaches perfection. The divine spirit has no beginning and will have no end, it is immutable. Your spirit is part of a people whom I have taken as a means or instrument to deliver my great lessons to humanity. There have been 3 revelations that the Father has made to this people. The first lesson was the law of justice of the first time, in the childhood of this people. The second was the law of love revealed in the second era, when he had barely penetrated into spiritual adolescence. The third lesson is this one that I am giving you in the present era, which I have called the third era. In it I reveal to you the spiritual law in its fullness, a law that contains everything that was shown to you in past times and everything that your spirit should know and possess. Spiritually you have reached youth. If you are constantly evolving, why should it always bring you the same lesson? That is the reason why my Arcanum reveals to you deeper mysteries in each era. Faced with the materialism and evil prevailing in this time, you doubt that you have the spiritual capacity to understand, feel and live my new teachings, and I tell you, that behind the materialism of humanity, behind its misery, its vices and ambitions, there is a spirit that has gone through great journeys and struggles, and is only waiting for the moment to strip off its false clothing, to get up full of strength along the path of justice and love that corresponds to the spirit. Human science is the materialized expression of the spiritual capacity that man has reached in this time. The work of men in this era is not only a product of the mind, but of their spiritual evolution. The Master, who has found his disciples in their spiritual youth, already prepared to understand the new lesson, comes to gather in a single book the 3 divine revelations, as a testament of love for men. That is the reason why you call yourselves Trinitarians, because you carry in your spirit the seed of those 3 lessons. However, not everyone will get up in this time to follow me, not even everyone who listens to me, because not everyone has woken up, nor have they known how to take advantage of the trials they have had in their lives. There are those who are lethargic for spiritual lessons, those who are stationary, those who are confused, but each one has marked the moment in which they should wake up and hear the voice of their conscience. Those who shuddered at this time upon hearing my word, were those who were impatiently awaiting my new manifestation, those who remembered my promise to return, as the wanderer lost in the middle of the night waits for the dawn to appear in order to find the way and continue the journey. My voice, which I materialize in this form today, will cease to be heard, and then I will contemplate in your works, the fruit of my sowing. I will leave in each one of you a spike and a fruit, so that when you feel hungry or someone in need comes to ask you, you may have bread and do not tell the Father that he abandoned you and left you without an inheritance. I want that in those times, when you feel the need of my divine indulgences, you know how to resort to your spirit and search in it, that there you will find stored many riches that my charity deposited in it. You will also find my seed in abundance, waiting for you to prepare the land, so that you can sow it. I have taught you to cultivate those lands and to watch over the sowing. Tomorrow, your spirit will reap the fruit of your works, as a harvest worthy of being offered to the Father and of being kept in his barns. There will be a moment when my word given in this time, apparently is erased from the face of the earth, then men will rise inventing spiritualist doctrines, teaching new laws and precepts. They will call themselves teachers, apostles, prophets and envoys, and I, for a time, will let them speak and sow. I will let them cultivate their seed, so that when they reap the fruit, they will know what they have sown. Time and the elements will pass over their crops, and their passage will be like a judgment for each one of those beings. It is necessary that the world knows of the imposture, so that it recognizes the truth. Then, the truth and the essence that I gave you at this time will resurface among humanity in all its purity and spirituality. See the men who lead the people, creating doctrines and imposing them on men. Each one proclaims the superiority of his doctrine, but I ask, what has been the fruit of all this? Wars, with their procession of misery, suffering, destruction and death. That has been the harvest that here, on earth, the apostles of such theories have reaped. See that I have not violated the free will of humanity, although I know how to tell you that about that freedom, the conscience is incessantly speaking to the heart of those who deviate from justice, charity or reason. Also in human life I will make men understand what the fruits of their sowing have been, letting sooner or later the results of their works appear as their judges. After that trial, everyone will come looking for me, and then they will discover that my word adapts to men of all ages and civilizations, because the divine word, my doctrine, does not belong to a certain time, because it is eternal. My teaching imparts strength to the spirit to triumph over all trials. The number of these is noted in the destiny of each being. Why back down before them? Why cower with the mountain that rises before your eyes? Do you not know that after overcoming these obstacles you will reach the goal you seek? How much weakness I still see in your matter, weakness that many times makes you blaspheme. If the elements are unforgiving, you blaspheme. If any pain afflicts your body, you despair. If work overwhelms you, you lose patience. Even the heat and the cold make you angry, and the darkness of the night instills fear in you. How can you not faint if you allow yourself to be guided by the dictates of the flesh, which engenders low passions? When will you be my good disciples who testify with your works of love, the truth of my doctrine? Being a disciple of Christ does not mean that you separate yourself too much from the material, that is to say that not being satisfied with turning away from what is bad and superfluous, you turn away from your duties and material enjoyments. I do not want you fanatics, nor slaves of the spiritual when you are still in the matter. The good disciple of Jesus is one who knows how to give to God what is God's and to Caesar what is Caesar's. A great struggle awaits my people, because in their journey they will have to find great evolution in the spirit and in the mind of humanity. This is why I want you to also evolve at this stage of my communication, so that no one will surprise you. Trust my word absolutely, knowing that there is more wisdom in it than in the understanding of the wise, and knowledge that is not found in all the books on earth. Tirelessly sow love and peace. In this way you will be preparing your spiritual path, and when death surprises your body and the spirit has traveled a large part of the path, full of joy it will contemplate how high the merits of its works of love towards his brothers. People, see how as you deepen yourselves in my teaching, you are leaving behind habits and customs, penetrating into a new life, cleaner, more spiritual. It is a new world that emerges from the bottom of your heart. How many mysteries has my word come to dissipate, and how many erroneous interpretations have I come to rectify? This is how you will have to go through the ways of the world, clarifying my law to your brothers. I tell you, you will go, because no one is a prophet in his own land. I myself, at that time, had to leave Nazareth where I lived, to be believed where I was looked upon as a stranger, where it was not said of me, that man who calls himself the Son of God, is the son of Mary and Joseph the carpenter. I tell you this, because among you who have received my spiritual gifts, there are those who have doubted their own parents, their children or their brothers. Among you are those who, for testifying to my teaching, have been called like me, sorcerers and wizards. Do not forget these words, because some will have to remain in their region, others will have to leave it and even their nation, to take my word to other peoples. This nation, fertilized by pain, sheltered my seed and it germinated, but do not believe that only you have this light. When you take my doctrine to other peoples, you will see how quickly it will germinate and spread. In those lands you will be prophets and emissaries, and therefore you will be believed. My light extends from one end of the earth to the other and illuminates the entire universe. The light of the divine spirit is a language that speaks to all beings. You who are human receive my word through the understanding of man. To those you call angels, I send my voice in the form of divine inspiration, and in each world or spiritual realm I make myself heard and understood, according to the degree of evolution of its inhabitants. I want to speak to you as I speak to the angels, not because you have their purity, but because I want you to enjoy that grace and to resemble those beings in their elevation. Spirit-to-spirit communication will bring all beings and all worlds closer together, but it is necessary that you are prepared to understand each other, and, for this, I am giving you a single language, a single light, a single form of communication, that of true love. The era of spiritual communication begins for you. Long is the road that you will have to travel, and it will take a long time for you to see this gift culminate, but from the first steps and in each one of them, you will find an incentive to persevere along the way. Didn't you like my communication through the human spokesman? Did you not enjoy the presence of the spiritual world through your understanding? Well, those were the preliminary steps for the spiritual communication that you will later achieve. And in these moments, in which you seek my voice in the silence of your prayer, isn't this peace that you feel and that nascent inspiration that you receive pleasant? You know the times of peace that will come because you have received my inspiration and my revelations, but there are those who, without having listened to me at this time, dream and desire universal harmony, without knowing if it will reach you. It is the intuition that speaks in them. Even the men of science have the premonition of communication through the gifts of the Spirit, and it is that in their constant scrutiny and penetration into the interior of the human being, they have discovered the existence of that being who, belonging to another realm, comes to dwell in man, the Spirit. Today I say to all of you, walk slowly and carefully on this path, so that you do not miss it. Watch and pray during the day, so that you reach the end, and your joy is great when the Father speaks and the entire spiritual universe listens and understands him, and that in the same way you understand each other. I want you to feel in your heart the love of your Father. This love descends from my Spirit to yours, but since you have not yet reached the true communion of the Spirit, I speak to you then through these creatures, in a simple and humble language within everyone's reach. It is my will to manifest my word to you with great simplicity, so that you find its essence with ease and do not get lost in the confusing talk, often useless. Cleanse your mind and your lips, so that when you have to explain my doctrine, the crystalline torrent of my word sprouts from your lips, without the ostentatious terms that take away its humility and its essence being mixed with your word. If you wanted to explain my spiritual doctrine with scientific or philosophical terms, you will not impress the world, nor will your brothers understand you, nor will you give a true idea of what my teaching is. At that time, when in Jesus I spoke to the world, I did not take the language of the wise men, of the philosophers or of the scientists to speak to you about the kingdom of heaven. I took from your language the simplest forms, because they are the ones that best express the superhuman teachings. I used the parables, taking the things that were familiar to you so that, through them, you would know the meaning of spiritual life. Truly I tell you, that Jesus had nothing to come to learn from men, because then I would not have been the divine teacher, but the disciple of man. If someone has said that Christ was instructed by theologians, theosophists or sages, he is not telling the truth, because before Christ and at the time that he inhabited the earth, there was no doctrine that taught him to be born, to live and to die as he did. But I also tell you that the lessons of heaven are not learned from the world, and what Jesus taught was the truth that exists in the eternal kingdom of the Spirit. How men insist on complicating what is simple. They would like to find in the divine, the composition and the substances that are characteristic of material nature. Their astonishment will be great when they verify that the spiritual or divine, without substance and without form, is everything. It is the beginning and the end, it is the truth, it is the eternal. Humanity has always been too busy with the greatness of the earth, to consider the importance of praying and meditating on what is beyond this life, so that it could discover the essence of itself. He who prays converses with the Father, and if he asks, he instantly receives the answer. The ignorance of men about the spiritual comes from their lack of prayer. People, since you have not been able to abolish the confusion of Babel on this earth, since the races have not known how to unite or love each other, I will reunite my family in the spiritual valley. Those obstinate and inveterate sinners will come before me in spirit, and upon receiving their judgment, their lucidity and repentance will be as great as their sin on earth was great. Pray for those who are absent from among you and go to the hereafter, because not all of them manage to find the way, not all of them know how to rise, and not all of them soon reach peace. There are those who in spirit live under the obsession of material life, some who suffer great regret, others are insensible buried under the earth along with their bodies, and others cannot separate themselves from their loved ones, from those who remained in the world, because crying, selfishness and human ignorance hold them back and materialize them, depriving them of peace, light and advancement. Let those who still inhabit this world leave without holding on to them anymore. Let them abandon the goods they possessed and loved in this life, so that they can raise their spirit to infinity where the true inheritance awaits them. Do not hold a grudge or remember the bad acts of those who departed. Do not want to have them on their knees before you, constantly imploring your forgiveness. How blind is humanity! Get to know each other and get to know me so that you may learn to walk on the path of love and do worthy deeds. See that I want you to know a lot about me so that you can be like your Father. You all have to reach me, some first, others later, but all will arrive. It could not be otherwise if you are all sparks of my divine light, if you are part of myself. Learn from me to love and forgive, fulfilling the precept that tells you, love one another. You want me to forgive you at every moment and you withhold or deny forgiveness to your brothers. Why do you want to lose yourselves in the abyss having so many gifts in your spirit? My word comes at this time to illuminate your mind. You have searched for the truth in books and found only recreation for the mind, but no benefit for the spirit, no food or encouragement to sustain you in your weakness or in your fatigue. I do not come to give you my word in a scientific or flowery way, so that you can understand it, but at the depths of its simplicity it keeps great treasures of wisdom and light for men. Since you searched for me so much, and that your heart waited for me, here I am fulfilling my promise to return among you and attending to your desire to listen to me. My divine spirit, as if it were the shadow of your body, follows you everywhere along the paths of the world. I let you know joys and also sadness. I wanted you to know about the struggle and peace, that you try and know everything, but there was something that you searched in vain in this world without being able to find it, because that something can only be found in me, my wisdom. That is why when listening to me, your spirit has felt that it has finally found what it was looking for, the truth. Yes, people, I am the beginning and the end for you. I am the Alpha and the Omega, although I still do not tell you or reveal all the teachings that I still have reserved for your spirit, which you will know when you are very far from this world. I will reveal many new lessons to you now, and I will give you what you are capable of possessing, without magnifying yourself, or raising yourselves before humanity with a boast of superiority. You already know that whoever is proud of his works, with his own vanity destroys them. That is why I have taught you to work in silence so that your works bear fruits of love. Reject flattery, for it is a weapon that will destroy your noble sentiments. It is a sword that can kill that faith that I have kindled in your heart. How can you allow men to destroy the altar that you carry in the depths of your being? I know that great works have been accomplished within this people, but let me know it, even though your names are unknown in the world. Only I know the true merit or value of your works, because not even you yourselves will be able to judge them. Sometimes a small work will seem very great to you, and other times you will not even realize that its merit reached me. Strengthen yourselves in humility, in dignity, and you will not be lost. I have given you the weapons. Fight, and do not lose a single battle. The laurel that will gird your forehead will be a kiss of love from your Father. Do not fall prostrate into lethargy again, since from it you have freed yourself. Do not go to imitate the unfaithful virgins who did not know how to wait for the bridegroom with their lit lamps, because if your previous awakening was bitter, the next one will have no comparison. Take care of your inheritance, and there will be no one to snatch it from you, because man does not have the power to snatch the gifts of the Spirit. People, the moments of my stay among you are short, in which through this word I give you my teaching, but first I want to leave you my doctrine as a treasure, as a testament of truth and love, so that when you feel very small before humanity due to your poverty and material humility, the knowledge that you possess be a testament of infinite spiritual value, makes you rise your forehead with dignity and serenely open your lips to deliver my word. This is the only greatness that I want you to have, that of the Spirit. If you knew that many miserable beings you contemplate, some blind, others lepers, others perishing of hunger, often carry in their spirit more light and advancement than some who boast of health, power and wisdom. Therefore, do not look for gold, or honors, or mansions. Seek peace, health and virtues. In my high judgments it is arranged that you be guides and counselors of the multitudes. Prepare yourselves, so that you become worthy of taking the seed of the Father to the heart of humanity. The corpulent trees will multiply, from them I will cut the branches that will be carried by my servants to the regions where for a long time my children have longed to hear my word. My lessons are extensive because the multitudes ask me to speak to them, to explain to them, to make them forget the pain and misery of the world, and I remain for long moments among them without them feeling the passage of time or fatigue. Only in this way will you come to assimilate my teachings and understand and analyze their meaning. How beautiful it will be when these multitudes, simple and humble, rise up on the roads carrying the good news of this time, so full of spirituality and morality. You will remember the father who has become the judge of his son, who has to forgive him and love him, to the mother who has ignored her children by denying them her lap, who has to open her arms and embrace them in her heart, so that they too can love, and to the children who rise up against their parents, who have to venerate them because the parents on earth take my place. Without righteousness, how can the spirit have elevation? Tomorrow you will have to teach and confirm your words with deeds. From now moralize your life, rebuild your homes and unify your family. That the father go in search of his son who fled from his home and the children look for the one who abandoned them, that the wife returns to the arms of the partner and that the husband who had given up his duties, look for the partner and build a new and better existence. Today better than ever you know your responsibility before my justice, O fathers and mothers. Because those beings that you name children by your blood, are spirits of which you will have to answer me. I want the union of your hearts to be the garden where those roses and those lilies bloom. Bring the multitudes closer to listen to my word, bring them to the banquet, and I myself will serve them. Truly I tell you, they will come out strong after having eaten the bread of true life and having drunk the wine of my grace. Whoever eats this bread will never be hungry again. My peace be with you.